The second moderation case study looks at the actual teaching and learning in the geography department. So it's the same school as what we used for the first case study, but just looking at it from a different aspect. So in grades 8 and 9, assessments rely more on informal class tests, assignments, and written work, i.e. the teacher continuously monitors the progress of the learners. They take the best of the learner's work and the work which most reflects the learner's ability and use this for recording and reporting purposes. This is different from what most other departments in the school do. From grades 10 to 12, there is a shift of emphasis towards more formal examinations. The school believes that each learner should be given sufficient opportunities to demonstrate their skill and understanding. They have ongoing meetings to ensure that they are in constant agreement, but do not keep records of their discussions and decisions. So I think a lot of us can relate to this, where you've got different departments in a school doing different things. Now let's have a look where the problem lies here. Well, the first is that although a school and the geography department may have an assessment policy, this should be drafted in line with the National Education Department's assessment policies and requirements, as well as the specific national curriculum subject requirements. So if you have a look here, they take the best of the learner's work, which best reflects the learner's ability. Now, we might agree that that's the best way to do things. However, the national policy doesn't allow us to do that. So even though their intentions really are good, this department doesn't follow the requirements of the formal assessment, recording and reporting requirements. This should be picked up in the planning stage right in the beginning of the moderation process. It's essential to keep records and minutes of subject meetings held. Often the quality of teaching and learning and the quality of assessments are discussed in these meetings, and these form evidence that the moderation is taking place. So sometimes moderation documents aren't as formal in terms of checklists and ticks and so on and formal documents, but often it comes down to minutes of meetings where you've reflected on a process or had discussions about an assessment. It's essential to keep records of these. And then, of course, we have to remember we've got two policy documents that we can rely on. The first is the National Policy on Assessment, and then, of course, our Curriculum Assessment Policy Statements. And these documents provide us with a lot of information. In fact, they're policy, so they're law. We do have to stick to these things. So let's have a look at what do these include? Well, first of all, it tells us the number of formal assessment tasks per term and year. They give us the requirements for recording and reporting, guidelines on forms and minimum requirements of formal assessment tasks, and then probably most importantly, the processes and procedures for assessment and moderation that we should be following. So hopefully this case study gives you a little bit of an idea of what should be taking place, and use this to compare to your own school and see where you're going wrong, and make sure that you're following the requirements of the national policy.